Hey guys, so welcome to this series, this special series all around mindset. Recently on my Facebook, I shared a post entitled 100 Ways to Have a Killer Mindset. And in this series of 100 videos, that's right, 100 videos, I'm going to be sharing with you small tidbits and tips and advice just to help you get this in check. And maybe, you've had a good mindset and it's dropped, or maybe you want to build it and grow it. Something I know for sure is that the success I've had since I've really delved deep into this has really been profound. And so I'm going to share with you in this training the full list, and then also talk about number one, which is on the list today. So number one, which is what I'm going to be talking about later on, is read from masters every single day. Okay. Number two, which is meditate every day. And that's a non-negotiable for me, okay? Number three, surround yourself with people with a good mindset. They talk about, you are the sum of the people that you're around. Very important. Number four, end all negative relationships. Toxicity in your life can be affected from other people, so that's really important. Challenge your own thoughts. Next one is number six, which is get into nature. I'm very fortunate to be here in San Diego, where I'm actually just a few moments and minutes from the beach. And so incredible just to be able to get out into that environment. Number seven, own a dog. All right. So this little fella has been with me for almost 2 years now, and he's been a game changer for me. So I'm a firm believer. And I actually didn't used to be a dog fan, if I'm honest with you. In fact, I just really didn't even ever think that I would have a dog. And now I can't imagine myself without one. So number eight, seek something out of your comfort zone on a regular basis, not just like once every year or a couple of years, every single day, every single week. To be seeking something. Number nine, attend events and seminars. Again, being around people with a similar mindset. So easy to forget that. Next one, number 10, build a great team that supports and believes in you. Very important. As you go from a transition, if you're running a solo entrepreneur business, and then you're trying to grow an enterprise, you're going to have to break through some challenges. So growing and building that team that is in alignment with your mission and your vision is incredibly important. Number 11, which is look at things from a different perspective. All the time we can see things only from our point of view, where it's important to look at things differently. And again, I'm going to be going into each one of these in more detail in the individual videos. Because I want to elaborate on some of those things. Number 12, hypnosis and NLP. Number 13, seek accountability. Number 14, do something you fear, like jumping out of a plane. I remember when I did that for the first time, and it was pretty scary. Number 15, be okay with crying. Number 17, be yourself. Stop trying to be someone that you're not. Number 18, ask quality questions of yourself. The questions that we ask ourselves can elicit some really good responses, and sometimes asking difficult questions of ourselves really helps. Number 20, number 19, do more of what feels good. Number 20, set boundaries and be okay with keeping them. Number 21, get a regular massage. 22, reconnect with family members and resolve disputes. That's going to be a really important one, which I'm going to share on number 22. Number 3, say sorry. Number 24, be grateful daily for small things. Number 25, give back to others in need. Number 26, get organized. And 27, stop trying to be perfect. Number 28, stop comparing your life to the highlight reel of others. 29, become aware of your actions. And number 30, slow it down. Okay. Number 31, use your intuition and listen to your gut. Number 32, stop doubting yourself. Number 30, I've done 32 twice. Drop stories from the past that aren't supporting you. The next one, change up your morning and evening routines. These are incredibly important, and I'm always adjusting these all of the time. Someone wants to get down and is going to bark if I let him down. Number 34, take a trip into the unknown, and I'll talk about some very different trips that I have taken into the unknown over the past few years, and those different experiences. I'd be happy to share those with you to be able to delve into that. Number 35, create a vision board and have fun doing it. Very key. Sit in silence and connect with your body. What is next? I'm trying to go back and forth from the camera and trying to read these out from the screen. Where are we? Change up your mood. Okay, so sit in silence and connect with your body. Invest in yourself and get uncomfortable. Pay off your debt. Also, create a bucket list. How many of those things, have you been to bucketlist.org? It's a great site if you want some inspiration of some stuff to add to your bucket list. Take responsibility for your actions. Stop trying to control people. Get the feeling like you already have something in your life and it will come. Okay, so being grateful before you have it. Take opportunities. Stop making excuses on why you shouldn't. Add value to others. Remember the child you once were, and remember those moments we all forget to tap into that. Call your parents. Say I love you more, including yourself. Stop being comfortable. It's like crack. Number 49, be a leader. Next one, write down 10 things you've been putting off and stop putting them off. Write down your goals and values. Number 52, which is the thing that keeps you, the thing that keeps on coming up for you and calling you that you have ignored. Stop ignoring your inner voice. Very important. Get healthier and fitter. Make quicker decisions. Don't live your life on the expectations of others. It's your life. I actually just did a post around this earlier today. Create a timeline of your life. How much time are you wasting not moving forward on a project? I'll let him down and see what he's... You want to get down? Come on. Okay. I'll give it 5 seconds before he starts barking. Never stop growing. Love the journey wherever you are. Nobody has the same journey as you. Seek your truth. Celebrate yourself more. Create a list of 20 I am statements. For example, I am confident if you feel that you're lacking in confidence. Don't beat yourself up for things in the past. Let them go. Make new connections all the time. I love doing that. When someone is being shitty, kill them with kindness. If the drama llama comes out, turn around and walk away. Try not to be skeptical. Look at the opportunity and be open. Guys, if you're enjoying this list so far, hit the share button and also hit the follow button if you want to see more of my Facebook Live videos and shares, because I'll be doing these quite frequently and I don't want you to miss out on them. Shorten decision-making times to minutes, not years. This is something that I started to do. I'd spent so much time, just all my decision-making was so long. And as soon as I started making faster decisions, strangely, the results started to speed up. Encourage others to do their best. Avoid negative Facebook groups, getting sucked into negativity, bad conversations and bad energy. Don't avoid the unusual. Read about it, embrace and experience what you resist. You'll be surprised at the outcome. It's normal it's normal as you grow that you're going to outgrow people. Don't feel bad about moving on. They can catch up if they want to, but treat them well. Smile at people randomly. I know I need to get better at that. Increase your commitment level. Don't take rejection to heart. Everyone has their own reasons. Be persistent and never give up. I always apply by that philosophy, even when it gets challenging. Embrace challenges because they're here to make you grow. Number 81, be in alignment with the bigger mission that you have. Learn something from everyone. I think it's very easy to, start to go up the rungs of the ladder and think that we shouldn't learn something from everyone around us. I think we should. Get rid of the things that you don't use. So maybe you're a little bit of a hoarder, and our environment and how it's organized affects our mindset, believe it or not. I want to delve into more about that. Own your shit around destructive behavior and commit to making changes you need to make. Number 86, stop being jealous of others. Just take more action and you won't need to be jealous because you'll start getting what you want out of life and stop being bothered about other people. Spend time unplugging weekly. I've got better at this now, just like leaving my phone, even if I'm going for a walk, leaving my phone when I'm going to yoga, leaving my phone. And again, just training that new habit. So I'm so wired to the phone and I need to start training a new behavior. Stop being cheap, shoot higher, make your life a fun game, because truth be told, life is just a game and we decide how we want to play it. Be more persistent, repeat power statements daily, break your standard routines, stop finding the small things that are wrong and be grateful for what you've learned, achieved, and move forward with. Number 96, LOVE, love. 97, try out new clothes and styles. I definitely need to head shopping soon. It's just reminding myself of these as I write them. Book a photo shoot. Number 99, find new challenging skills to learn. And number 100, imagine how many people you could help if you shared this video. So wrapping back up to number 1, which is, let me remind myself, read from masters every day. You know, I've not always been a big reader. I've always been a writer, but I wasn't always a reader. And I actually wrote for national video games magazines from a very early age. When I got bullied at school, I tended to put myself into a corner, but that enabled me to write for the magazines that I was actually writing at school, and then went on to publish when I was working for video games magazines when I was 16, and I finished that at the age of 21. And it was only when I started to get into pain that I really started to read. After studying Tony Robbins' Personal Power 2, I then started to look into different books. And of course, when we read a book, it creates a stimulant within us. We read it, we get excited, but sometimes we don't take action. So there's my number 1 tip on read from masters every single day, which is, if you're going to read, if you're going to educate yourself, I've got some books here, which are just a few ones which I've picked out from my library behind me. We've got The Big Leap, which is here, which is a great one. We've got Deepak, which I'm definitely a fan of, Quantum Healing. We've got Gamification here, which is Reality is Broken. So different ones. Words That Sell, if you like marketing. This is a great one by Yannick, Evolved Enterprise. I just want to make sure you can get it in the shot, which is a cool one if you wanted to link your business to something bigger. And one of my good friends, Greg Reed, has got 3 Feet from Gold, which is a fantastic read for anyone. And actually, Greg was kind enough to give me a very limited edition of this, which is Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. You know, this book, okay, must be read by everyone, just like the other ones here. They're all good. But here's the point, which is we can read books. We can also listen, which is what I'm going to come on to in a moment. But it's really important for me to create action steps from the books I read. So what I'll often do is I'll stop mid-book, and then I'll start to create an action step list and then start to implement that. Another thing too, for me personally, and I've talked about this before, which is I tend to read business books during the day and then more self-development, things like Wayne Dyer, things like Deepak during the evening. Why? Because I'm normally up at the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning with a whiteboard, and I'm tending to it sparks too much creativity in me in the evenings for me to read business books. So for me personally, what works is business books during the day and then more self-development in the evenings, and then creating an action step from this. Another thing too is I'm always ordering books in the moment. So if someone recommends a book to me, and definitely post a great book that you recommend in the comments in the video. If there's anything that's coming out for you right now that you want to recommend, you know, I always order something in the moment. So if someone recommends it or I've heard it multiple times, I'll take out my phone and I'll order it in the moment. And I've typically got a backlog of at least 1 or 2 books which are in a queue. And on average, I would say I'm reading most likely probably 1 book a week, maybe 2. So a big game changer for me, and you know, I forget sometimes because I'm so used to this myself, but some people don't have this, so it's worth mentioning, is Audible. So for some people, you know, I love to read. I'm not a fan of Kindle, but I love to read, you know, especially on like an airplane, you know, books like this. I think you can, it's hard to replicate the feeling of a book, but also more so in the evenings, and definitely to speed up reading, I use Audible. which is the app. And so I've got tons of books on here. We've got, Tony Robbins' Unshakable, Divine Love, Wayne Dyer. I've got more Wayne Dyer. I've got John Maxwell. I've got Untethered Soul, Grant Cardone, 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. I mean, it just goes on. And you can see it here. It just goes on. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay. So Audible has been a big game changer for me. But here's the point of this series, which is around mindset, which is you've got to continuously make sure that you're pumping good stuff in here. And so that, as well as, stimulating and giving us a lot of knowledge, especially if you're in a difficult financial position and you want to get trajectory and you're not able to, for example, invest in a coach or mentor, then my advice is start reading books and educating yourself, because we can all learn and we can all apply some of that and start to generate some revenue from what we've learned. What we have to remember is when we're reading a book and it may be, 230 pages, 250 pages, you're taking someone's knowledge of maybe 30, 40 years and it's condensed into something because they just wanted to provide value. For example, my book, The Lunchbox Diet, which was published in 2009 by HarperCollins, that got started off by, a 13-page ebook that I put together. Then that got picked up by Elle magazine, and they called it the best diet ever. And then I finally got a book deal. And then I put together this, which is the new encyclopedia of modern fitness business building, which is about 350 pages or so of business building, marketing and mindset for personal trainers. So it doesn't matter what you want to learn about. There's always a book out there. But here's another piece of advice for you, which is go for the books, not just the top sellers, that things that you need, but also look for books that stretch you outside of your thinking of stuff that maybe you wouldn't look at, because a lot of the growth that I've had has come from exploring books and exploring seminars and exploring events which were slightly weird, were slightly odd, and were outside of my scope of the business I was in. Another thing I'll also say is timing with books is really important too, because a lot of people ask me, Simon, give me a good book recommendation. I just want to read. But also from a flip side of it, from that argument, also what I say is you want to read the books which are going to help you solve challenges that you're going through in the moment. So when someone says to me, Simon, can you give me a book recommendation? My normal response is, tell me what you're struggling with, or tell me what outcome you're looking for, and I'll recommend the book for you that's right in the timeline of where you are right now. So a few things. Always have a couple of books on the go. Vary it up. I'm not a big fan of fiction. I tend to read nonfiction. And vary it around, Wayne Dyer, motivation mindset during the evening, and then, business books that are going to help me explore different areas. And it's so interesting that, based on the timeline that you are in your business, you tend to start exploring new businesses based on where you're at. For example, if suddenly you're just starting to build a team, then you're going to gravitate toward more books around leadership and more books around, for example, hiring and things like that, the challenges that you're currently going through. So it's always worth exploring these different options. And again, the more books that you read, the more knowledge that you have, even though you don't activate it in that moment, most likely what's going to happen is you're going to have an event that comes up, you're going to have a situation that occurs, and then suddenly what you read is then going to be applied later on too. Because what I've found and what I've learned from in my experience, especially when I was going through my bullying, gambling, drug taking days, was that maybe I learned a lot of stuff, but it didn't get activated. And then only when I started to self-develop did a lot of my knowledge start to be able to apply it. So a few things there. So that is video number 1, guys, on read from masters every day in this series of 100 ways to have a killer mindset. I would love your love by sharing this post, comment in the comments below if you're watching this, and I would love your feedback. I will see you very soon. This is Simon from Fitpreneurs, fitpreneurs.com, and glad to be serving you guys. Have a fantastic evening wherever you are, whatever you're up to. And he is now asleep. Good night and take it easy.